Hey guys, I'm Jackie Brubaker, host of the Love You Even More podcast. I'm an author, marriage and family therapist in training, performer, and 2-time Emmy Award winner. Each week, I bring on people from all walks of life to talk to them about their inspiring stories in the fields of self-development, relationships, business, and how you can love yourself even more. For more about me and the podcast, visit us at loveyouevenmore.com. Hey guys, and welcome to the Love You Even More podcast. I'm your host, Jackie Brubaker, and today I am doing a solo podcast on the fires in California. As some of you know, I am a native to LA. I have been here my entire life. My family has been here since the beginning of LA. We are true natives, both my mom's and dad's side. And what's happened in California is a tragedy. It's a trauma. It was completely unexpected. We are very used to the Santa Ana winds. It's something that happens. I actually have always really liked the Santa Ana winds. They're kind of mysterious. And if you ever watch that movie, The Holiday, they even reference the Santa Ana winds as magical, and it'll bring about, good luck or change. And well, it sure brought some change. And we know as residents of LA that fires happen here a lot. This is not new to our state. All over the state, including California, we're prone to them. We're prone to mudslides and, of course, earthquakes, as so many of you are afraid of. I did live through the Northridge quake as a kid, and I will tell you, it was pretty scary. It was pretty big. But earthquakes, are not as scary as what's happening here. And it's still going on. Today it marks a full week of the fires in the Palisades and Eaton. So for those of you listening who might not live in California, might not live in the United States, who might be out of the country, LA is a pretty big county. And the Pasadena fires, which are the Eaton fires, are located in Altadena and Pasadena, that county. It's still part of LA County, but it's like this area. And to give you a good idea of sort of who lives there and what it looks like, it's what's called the foothills. So there are a lot of mountain ranges. It is kind of on your way going towards Big Bear in that general direction, like going towards like, Palm Springs, like that direction. So you're going towards desert, but there are a lot of hills and it's still very foresty. In fact, we have a very major forest, and hiking and it's families that have been there for generations. That is something I want to talk about a lot with this podcast, is what LA is really made up of, but we'll get there. But I'm just trying to give you kind of some idea of what the terrain looks like. So there's a lot of hills, there's a lot of mountains, a lot of forests, a lot of vegetation, but it's also a desert. We are a desert, so things are dry. It's a great place to have succulents. So while you might see pine trees and oak trees, you're going to see a lot of dry vegetation because we are no different than Arizona in a way, or Nevada. So the Eaton fire caught fire in the hills and in the residencies of people who have lived in these homes for generations. Okay, moving over to the Palisades. Most of you have heard of the Palisades, probably from, Selling Sunset or some reality show, or just knowing that, I know celebrities live in the Palisades or they live in Malibu, and Malibu and the Palisades are directly next to each other. They kind of blend together. But I want to just really kind of highlight what's very unique about both of these locations as in Altadena, Pasadena, and the Palisades and Malibu. While we have a small percentage of people who live in these areas that are wealthy, who have either entertainment careers or they've made a lot of money and decided to have second homes there or whatever, While that is absolutely the case in the Palisades in Malibu, the bigger point that I want to make, especially with the Palisades, is that this is also just like Altadena and Pasadena, where there can be some wealth there for sure, but it is mainly made up of families who have had these homes for generations. I just cannot stress this more or enough, because our state is not doing well, nor has it been doing well. The hub of our industry, which is entertainment in the county of Los Angeles, has taken an absolute beating since 2021, if not 2020. And we are a huge percentage of what makes up the money of our state. When we're already struggling with the entertainment industry, to watch family homes that have been passed down, that have been able to be bought with inheritance or not inheritance, people who have worked so hard, and I excuse the sirens, but they're a lot. And this is nothing compared to what it's been like. We're a little on high alert, all of us today. It's the kick up of the Santa Anas again, so we're all a little freaked out about power outages, and we're a little freaked out about evacuating again. I was very, very, very close to the Sunset Fire. I'll get to that in a second. Well, I mean, why not now? I was literally streets away from the Sunset Fire. And also on, I guess it was the day before, on Tuesday, the day that the fire started, there was a fire literally in walking distance in the hills by me, because I live right at the Hollywood Hills. And again, while that might sound like so glamorous and that I must be rich to live here, while it's a very expensive place to live, I've lived here my whole life, as so many people have. And if it's not their whole lives, it's 10 years, it's 15 years, it's 20 years. This is their home. And we have worked very, very hard to be able to stay here. I'm in a rent-controlled apartment. I have been here for almost 20 years. That says a lot about how hard it is to actually buy a home here, to create what would look like a more normal life that other people can do in other states, because the cost of living is so much less. This is not to bash on other states. It's actually really to make our state be a little bit more affordable. But anyway, I am not a politician. So the Palisades is a community. It's this small little neighborhood, and it's not full of these like gigantic homes. Most of the homes in the Palisades are two bedroom homes, 3-bedroom homes. They're just like normal homes that were built in like the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. Like, it was a beach town. It still is a beach town. It was not built for celebrities. It was built as just a little neighborhood suburb, of LA. And I know a lot of people, and throughout my family, who have had friends that have lived in the Palisades, and friends of mine who have lived in the Palisades with their families, who are not rich. They are just working people. There are people who live there that, I should say, lived there, that are blue collar workers. I mean, sometimes you just have to live close to where you work. And a lot of these people are, service members, they're maids, they're people who work at grocery stores, and they just happen to live in that neighborhood because that's where they decided to live, and that's where they work. Sorry, a lot of us are real angry over here. Because this idea that, they eat the rich, or the rich can rebuild, it's not a problem for them. Like, who cares? It is so ridiculous to me. I can't believe that people are so uncaring or heartless or cold to believe that just because someone worked really hard to have what they have, and maybe they have enough to actually rebuild, doesn't mean that they haven't lost something very important to them. If they happen to be fortunate enough to have that kind of money. But again, most of the people who have lost their homes, especially in Altadena, these are families of color. These are families who have been there for generations and they can't afford to buy in LA. No one can. No one can afford to buy here. People can barely afford to live here. And they have lost everything. And it is horrifying to, like I said, this fire, these two fires, but the Sunset Fire, if you've been watching the news, was a big, huge fire in the Hollywood Hills. That happened so fast. And what was astonishing to me is that I live here and I didn't even get an alert on my phone. I didn't get an alert. I had to have people tell me, text me, are you okay? With the two fires that were in walking distance from my house. They had to text me, are you okay? I didn't know. And I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I have never been so scared in my life as I was with the Sunset Fire. I have never cared so less about my material items. All I cared about was getting, this is it, right? It gets real clear. And I'm not a very materialistic person. Everything can always just, be replaced if it really needs to be. But you can't replace lives. And you can't replace the home that you have made. And my apartment, while it feels like a house, is my home. And I've never been so scared and so anxious in my life as I was when I was packing things up. And I tried so hard to make sure that my cats, who are very sensitive to me, weren't scared too. Because if they got scared, because they knew something was wrong. They knew something was wrong, but I was like, no, mommy's just playing. It's okay. I knew if they got scared, they would go under a bed or a couch and I wouldn't be able to get to them. And it would be a big problem because it's just me. And my neighbors and I are very, very close. So all of us were coming together to try to help each other figure out our game plans and where are we going and what are you doing and what do you have? I mean, I packed my car. I was just waiting to leave. And luckily, thank God, we had enough firefighters on that fire, on both of the fires within 2 days, but especially the Sunset Fire, to really put it out quickly and to help, because once those start hitting houses, and they were, it's just all over. It's just burned so quick, as we've all watched on the news. So the thing that I really want to also focus on is the way that LA has come together so quickly. This is a city that people drive, they don't walk, we don't know our neighbors. I mean, I do. But most of us don't know our neighbors. We don't know people. There's a very strange sense of community here. If you're in something like a hobby or a running group, or you take Pilates with people, like, you kind of know them, but you really just stick with your friends. But what's been beautiful is to watch everyone, if you were able-bodied, to come and actually help and to reach out. And I certainly did that myself immediately, because I just got lucky that I was A-okay, and B, I'm healthy and I'm young, and C, I wasn't working. I can't believe, I remember looking at my schedule thinking, God, I have so much free time right now. What am I going to do with myself? I mean, obviously there's always things to do, but I'm so grateful that I had this time during this very, very traumatic time to be able to help. And I did in multiple ways, and everyone is coming together, and it shows you that, we might be a city of people who don't talk to each other all the time, but when it counts, boom, we were all there for each other, and we are still all there for each other, and helping and taking people in and taking their animals in and fostering dogs and cats and horses. And there's so many beautiful stories of saving animals and saving people who are disabled from their homes or elderly. It's just been a lot. And it's just come out of nowhere. It was just Christmas, but yet that feels like months ago. And we're all kind of feeling like it's COVID all over again. We're just at home and trying to like do what we can. And we're all just kind of waiting for the next windstorm, which is happening tonight. And we're just waiting for these fires to be put out. I mean, as you know, I'm sure you've heard this is the most historic fire in our state ever. And it's bizarre because the winds are blowing in a direction right now where the sky is blue with a haze. But they were black, for days. We're all very scared of our health, and we're all very scared of the air quality and what that means with asbestos in the air and all these different chemicals burning. Truly, sheltering at home is like a real thing again. Nobody's really out. People are wearing masks. It's just like COVID again. And it's as if COVID wasn't traumatizing enough. It is traumatizing to be put through it again and know what to do. We know what to do. Oh, I've done this. I can do this. And while it's a different sort of tragedy, it is happening right now. And I just really, really want you to know, as someone whose family is from here, I am from here, all my friends are here, every single one of my friends in LA is affected. We are all affected by a fire right now. You can't actually escape it. And I'm not talking about like just emotionally. I'm talking our houses are all affected. And the winds could just blow a certain direction and it could hurt somebody's house while it could help someone else's because it's blowing in the opposite direction for someone. And I don't know how we're supposed to rebuild from this. We're going into a new presidency. We're going into a brand new year. And I don't know what this is going to look like for the state, for cleaning up, for people who are misplaced. The rents have already spiked, as you must know. Our rent is insane here, unless you have rent control like me and so many other people. The rent is impossible. It's outrageous. And it's illegal to price gouge. And people are doing that with their rental properties right now. And it's not good. It's not good. And if we were ever going to be a community, it would be now. It would be, let's live together. Let's push together. We don't need to all have, I felt this for a while. We don't all need to have our own houses. That feels like a very old 50s mentality of what's mine is mine. And while it's beautiful to work hard for something and have it, like, you could share it. And I think that's what is happening here is out of necessity, we're sharing. But I do wonder if because we're doing that, we realize maybe it is better together. And it's better to live together. It helps our costs and it helps our humanity and it helps our emotional well-being and our mental well-being to have people close by to help each other, that you don't feel as alone. Because for a city that drives around in their cars all by themselves and lives in their apartments or their houses all by themselves, what are we doing? I hope that some really good things come out of this. And I hope that it is the show of community and the camaraderie that can continue. And the breaking down of some very old, outdated beliefs and outdated infrastructure situations. I don't like to get political here, so I won't. But I just know that we're already showing how strong we are and how resilient we can be and how angry we are and will be for what has happened. Because something or someone is to blame and we all know it. You can't have this many fires at once. You just can't. Okay. Again, I'm not really a political person publicly, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave some links of different organizations you can donate to. Please, if you can, please donate. People just need help getting back on their feet and replenishing what they had. We've had so many donations with clothes and food and water and all of that. But, also you have to remember, like, we have so many firefighters from so many different states and countries here helping to put this out, and they are struggling. So please, there'll be links to help our firefighters. And while it's just stuff at the end of the day, it's the home that you had. It's where you raised your children. It's where you lived. Stuff can be replaced, but a home is different. And that was the thing that really killed me, was that I don't care about my stuff as much as I care about my home. And I don't want to lose my home. And I'm very lucky that I didn't. So please have empathy for everyone in LA right now. And like going into Ventura County too, because the Palisades fire is moving up that way. Please reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to people to say, how are you? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you want me to listen? It's really scary right now, and it's really hard. And I hope that if anything, this gives you a peek into what it looks like for someone who's just a normal person who grew up her whole life here, her whole family's generations here, and how normal it is. I've often said that about people who move here. And like, once you meet the natives, you'll kind of meet all of them, because we only congregate together because we're the normal. Not to say other people aren't. There's some characters here. But yeah, people who live here, we're just normal people who just happen to live here. I just happen to be born here. Thanks guys for listening. Please, if you can donate, please donate. And I will see you next week.